the challenges for me of late have been about transition,
Hmm.
because transition in life is a real challenge. So for me, it's been kids growing up, shifting in relationship, choosing with intention to be in relationships, losing close friends,
Oh,
um, and showing up for them before their moment, before losing them, and figuring out how to still live in a community where I center people versus values that don't align with mine. So
yeah.
that's really important to me, and for me, that is community. Community means everything to me. It's really the driving force in my life. This last year was particularly challenging. I have you'll notice my initial on my name is N,
Yeah.
and so that stands for Nichelle. And I have a dear friend who is also named Nichelle, and she was diagnosed a few years ago with breast cancer.
Mm.
And one of the things that was really important to me was making sure that as a community we could rally around to support her while she got treatment and so all of that. So I was really excited last year at the beginning of the year to um, I sat with her and I asked her, I said, what do you need? She said, I just bought this new house,
Hmm.
and so I could have a stable place for myself and my children, and I need to make sure that I have a way to pay for that. I said,
Hmm.
gotcha. I got you. I'm not a philanthropist because I'm not a millionaire. I don't have anything like that. But what I
Right.
what I do have is the currency of community.
Yeah.
So I reached out to friends and I asked everybody to be able to, if they could all donate the total we were trying to raise for her to keep her mortgage and utilities and everything paid for at least 6 months was $18,000.
Okay.
And within 24 hours, I had pledges and commitments for that. People gave and they gave above and beyond. And she was so grateful. And I was grateful because it showed me that I don't have to be able to write the check.
Right.
I don't have to be able to do that. But what I have to be able to do is to reach out to community and tell them that we have a need. And I know that collectively we can do that. So for this past year, we've been supporting Nichelle as she worked through her battle with breast cancer. We made sure that we took the responsibilities of housing off of her plate and anything
Mm.
else so that she could be focused on her own healing. Sadly, we lost her on November 1st
Oh, I'm
this
sorry.
year. That transition was hard.
I'll
That
bet.
was that was probably the hardest thing because you know that you have hope for healing,
Right.
but you also have to have the acceptance that you did what you could when people were here.
Yeah.
So on November 1st, she transitioned from this realm to the next, and she leaves her mom and her children. And so the work now for me is to make sure that we stand instead for Nichelle when she's not here.
Yeah.
Whether that's supporting her children, whether that's supporting her, her mom, her family, her community, that we grieve together, you know. And then this last Saturday, I lost another warrior friend
Oh
to the
no.
same disease,
Okay.
breast cancer. And her name is Maia Crown Williams. And so I say her name because these are transitions, and it helps me to think about life and death as maybe two sides of the same coin. We're here,
Hmm.
and while we're here, what do we do in service to another to make this journey a little easier?
Yeah.
You
Yeah. And the things that you did for Nichelle made her, the time she had left much more peaceful. She would have been so stressed about
know,
the other stuff. Yeah.
I'm
So you
grateful
you
for that.
you added to the quality of the time she had left. Well,
Yeah.
well done.
And I
And
will miss her tremendously.
yeah.
I miss her with my entire heart. I miss both of
Mm,
them tremendously. And, you know, my hope is to, you know, continue to share the message, get your mammograms, whatever it is, share that message, but to also remind people that we have the power to collectively, you know, take something off someone's plate. About 20 years ago, I started an organization called Our Children Count.
hmm
And we started that in response to the policy at the time, which was No Child Left Behind.
Right.
Right. And at that time, um, parents were really struggling. It seemed like they were struggling to figure out how to not let their child be left behind. And
hmm
with my background in education, I really wanted to talk to parents about how they are such a critical part of their child's journey through education.
Yeah.
I think sometimes parents are so afraid of getting it wrong
Yeah.
that they let the fear of that stop them from really enjoying the journey of education and learning. And so I did that and worked with schools to do all of that. And I landed most recently, just a bit before the pandemic, in working with parents who made the decision to homeschool.
Okay.
And then the pandemic happened, and everybody was, I wouldn't say everybody was homeschooling, but everybody was at home schooling.
Right, exactly.
Okay. And that's two different, very different things.
Mhm.
Um, I I consider what we do now, Our Children Count as an organization, um, an opportunity for us to create safe spaces for parents to talk about the challenges that they face when they have a child at home.
Mhm.
Um, Talk about their biggest insecurities. We work on healing their own trauma and relationship to school. So many parents struggle with, they have not unpacked their own trauma around what it meant to be that kid who sat in the principal's office, or
Yeah.
the kid who was loud in school, or the kid who was quiet. So they're navigating their own educational trauma while
hmm
trying to support their children. And so our goal at Our Children Count is to support parents with unpacking that so that they get to show up better for their children.
Oh,
They get to
wow.
show up,
Yeah.
and they get to show up feeling confident in the charge of, supporting their child. And
Oh,
we think
sure.
that's huge. And if we know, if we get it right in this generation, the effects of that are like ripples for 3 and 4 and 5 generations out. So if we heal families here,
hmm
those very people take those tools
Yeah.
and they use it in their own parenting, and those kids use it in their parenting. We know if we get it right in this generation, that the effects are long lasting and intergenerational. And that,
Absolutely.
like, to me, that is the biggest hope, and that's the legacy I want to leave.
Absolutely. You and I are going to have a lot of good conversations. We've got a lot to talk about, and I love your attitude about this. So as far as our children count, first, do you serve local community, worldwide? What something in
Wow.
between?
We so because we have an online presence,
hmm
we and we're not, to me, we're not at this point, one of the challenges I have is that I don't know if I'm technologically savvy enough yet to
Right.
be able to use the platforms in a way that allow us to reach a lot of audiences. So first, we started out in Detroit. We were
Yep.
local. The
Yep.
tech, like 20 years ago, we didn't have the internet like we have it now, right?
Right.
Now I'm able to do, Zoom coaching, which is what I do. So a lot of my clients are Zoom coaching. We're able to do collaborative partnerships with other local community organizations. So we
hmm
work particularly with an organization called Engage Detroit. We coach with their parents. We provide support to other schools. We provide support and workshops to parents online. So sometimes that reaches beyond Detroit. It is beyond, it's online. So because I think some things are universal.
Yeah.
You know, we all want the best for our children. I tell every parent, when you hold your baby for the first time, you look at them with such promise, like, I want the best for you. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter your race, your
Mm.
color, your creed, your your financial status. None of that matters. I want to make this experience, I want you to be the best
Hmm.
for yourself. We all hold that promise, and that's universal.
Yeah.
So knowing, with that at front of mind, I meet people where they are because I
Yeah.
know that at the core, everybody wants that. Do
Yeah.
we sometimes, I mean, I'm a parent too. I know I've had my challenges where things are frustrating. Do we say things? Do we reach back to what we've known in our own upbringing? Do we just need guidance, right? So
Hmm.
that's the goal.